Hi there, welcome back to the Blue Bear Quilts channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Woven Wonders quilt, and I promise you it's super easy. This is a bright, colorful quilt, can be used for a lot of different purposes: kids' dorm rooms, kids' bedrooms, your bedroom, any place where you want to put a lot of color. So this is a super easy quilt to make. Stay tuned and we'll get started. So let's get started making the Woven Wonders quilt. So what are the supplies you're going to need? Well, you're certainly going to need the pattern. And you can see that it has nice pictures and tells you the materials you'll need. Nice clear instructions with detailed pictures of how to make the quilt. And this would be available on my website, bluebearquilts.com, or my Etsy shop of the same name, Blue Bear Quilts. You may also still be able to find this in quilt shops that sell QT fabrics. So what else are we going to need? Well, you're going to need a straight edge ruler. This is one of my favorites. It's called the Quick Trim and Circle Ruler. It's 3.5 inches by 12.5 inches, and it's just a real convenient size, especially for this project that we're going to be working on. And this project is so easy, you're just not going to believe how easy it is. So we also need a good rotary cutter with a nice sharp blade. This one is one of my favorites. It's Quilter's Select, and it's nice and heavy. I really like this. You're obviously going to need a cutting mat to cut your fabrics on, and then you may need some pins at some point in the project. Now you're also going to need fabrics, and the fabrics that are in this quilt, the Woven Wonders, are from QT Fabrics Vibe line. That's V-I-B-E. And in addition to a multicolor pack of the Vibe fabrics, you're also going to need a blue, which happens to be the outside border. You're also going to need gray, which are the outside borders of the color fabrics, and you're also going to need white, which is another one of the fabrics that outlines the various colors. So let's take a look at this wonderful Vibe line from QT Fabrics and look at everything that's in there. Hopefully I can get this undone pretty quickly for us here. It's always so much fun opening up a new pack of 2.5 inch strips or fat quarters. It's like Christmas time. So in this Vibe line we have a beautiful yellow, we have orange, we have a red orange, we have a darker red orange, or maybe just orange, and then we have another dark red orange, we have a red, we have a pink, we have a violet color, we have kind of a light lilac, there's a nice purple, a nice light blue, more of a medium blue, then we have a light teal blue, a darker teal blue, kind of a lime green, a Kelly green, a lime color green, it's lighter than the other one, then we have sort of a medium green, we have a gray, a darker gray or a black, and then we also have a brown. So those are the wonderful different colors that are part of the QT Fabrics Vibe Fat Quarter Pack. So those are the materials that we need. Let's get started on making this quilt. All right, the pattern is going to tell you to cut all of those wonderful colors in strips. And so I've gone ahead and done that. I've cut all of these wonderful colors into strips. You also need to cut the white into strips of the same length, and also the black into strips of the same length. And then when you start sewing them together, you'll see how easy this quilt is to make. I promised you that it's easy, and it's definitely easy. So you sew, I'm going to start working with the lavender, so you sew a lavender to the black and you press it to the black. And then you also need to sew a white to the black and press it to the black. And then you're going to sew these two pieces together. And when you sew them together, you have to be careful to lay it out this way, of black, color strip, black, white strip. Because if you do it this way, it's not going to look right for the pattern. So you have to be careful of that. And then when you, so this is pressed to the black and this is pressed to the black. And when you do that, these two are going to nest together when you sew it. So you flip it over like this. And then you have to make sure that you're sewing this black to this color strip. And basically for every one of these blocks, it's going to be the same, except you're going to make so many of these lavender strip sets, and then you're going to take other colors and substitute them in here, and you're going to make so many of the blue and so many of the light blue and the green, etc. But they all go exactly like this: black, color, black, white. So you flip this one over, and then you can see that these seams nest together when they're both pressed to the dark. See, it makes a perfect seam there, a perfect intersection. So you flip the black and white over onto the lavender and black. And as I indicated, these seams will nest together. You can see how they form a perfect intersection there. That's why we press to the dark. And then it makes it, when they line up like that, it makes it super easy to sew a 1/4 inch along here, because everything just nests together perfectly. It makes it really easy to sew these strips together. So when you sew them together, you end up with a strip set that looks like this. And as I indicated before, every single one is going to be the same. It goes black, color, black, white. And you just substitute the different colors in place of where the lavender is. And so then once you have these strip sets put together, I typically line it up on a line like this, line it up on a line of the mat, and I'm going to trim a little bit off to make it nice and even. And I just line my ruler up on the lines on the mat. These Olaf mats are pretty accurate in terms of their measurements. They match up perfectly to the ruler. So we trim that up and even it up like that. And then I happen to know that the proper place to place the ruler is 1 inch away from the end. So I put it right there. Chop that off, and that's the blocks that we need. And so you end up with a whole bunch of these. And the pattern tells you like how many strip sets you need to make and how many of these different blocks that you need to make. And so that's all there is to making blocks for this quilt. It's super easy, like I said. And now I'm going to go ahead and sew together all of the other strips with the other colors and cut them into the blocks. And when I get ready to place them in the quilt, I'll show you how I do that. Okay, I wanted to give you a little bit of information about how to press the strips and how you can cut them quicker, because if you press them a certain way, it's possible to cut the subsections a lot quicker. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. So when you're sewing these strip sets together, you have a dark and a color and a dark and a white. And when you sew the dark and the white together, you press towards the dark. When you sew the color and the black strip together, you press towards the dark. So then you have this section of this section. When you sew those two together, you could press to the dark again, but in order to get the strips all going the same way, you're going to press towards the color. So on the back, what that looks like is all of the seams are going the same direction. And so when that's the case, you can pile a couple of these on top of each other, and then it'll make cutting them quicker. So what I do is I line up along a line here to get it nice and even, and make sure that when I trim off this edge, I'll have full pieces. Then I take this one and flip it the opposite way and lay it on top here, and make sure again that what I cut off here will be all these ragged edges. And then these two seams are going to nest, the seams on the top one and the bottom one are going to nest together. So I just kind of pull it down and you can feel them nesting with each other. Then I take my ruler and I'm going to trim off this edge first, like this. And I always put my hand here to make sure it doesn't move. And then I'm going to put this on here and trim a couple at a time. So I trim that, again put my hand, pull them away, trim another set. And when you get used to how your rulers work with the cutting, you can do this fairly quickly. So I cut that one, again, make sure it doesn't move, come back, cut another one. Always make sure that your ruler is lined up exactly where it needs to be. That's how you get precise cuts. And then I'm going to do one more here. And this is garbage, get rid of it. And look how quickly I cut these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a really quick way that you can press the seams and then be able to cut all of these out quickly, because there are a lot of these subsections to cut. So I hope that helps. So there's a reason why patterns tell you to read through the whole pattern before getting started. So these blocks are supposed to measure 4.5 by 4.5 when they're cut into blocks. And because of the sewing of 4 strips together, unfortunately my sewing was off, and in this direction the block is only measuring 4.25. So I'm now having to trim up all of these blocks, all of these, to be 4.25 by 4.25. So to keep them consistently, I'm always putting the white end down at this end and trimming it so that it's definitely 4.25 this way. And then these were accurately cut to 4.5. So I'm putting the ruler on again and measuring 4.25 and then trimming it up so that the blocks will end up being 4.25 by 4.25. So in order to prevent this problem from happening, if I had tested a block at the very beginning and learned how my sewing was going, I would have realized that when you were sewing 4 strips together like this, it wasn't ending up at 4.5, it was ending up at 4.25. So to rectify that, I would have adjusted the settings on my sewing machine so that I would be sewing at a scant 1/4 inch. And what that means is making your seam allowance like a couple threads smaller. So however you do that on your sewing machine, that's what you would do in order to correct this problem. So when those blocks turned out to be the wrong size and I had to trim them down, I could have gotten all upset and mad and said bad things about the pattern designer. Oops, that's me. But instead I decided to make lemons out of lemonade because I realized it was my fault. The blocks were supposed to be 4.25 inches square and I didn't check it soon enough. So now I have to trim all of them down, but that's how I'm going to make lemonade out of lemons. And so this is the first row. You can see I've sewn the blocks together and they'll turn out just fine despite the smaller size. The only difference might be that these black pieces might end up being a little bit smaller, but it doesn't matter because it's going to match up with that one. And the white one should be the same size, but because I was trimming off the black, it's possible that that will be a little bit smaller, but I really don't think it's going to be noticeable. So the way I lay these out is I put them on my cutting mat in the order that they're supposed to go. So this is now row 2. This one that I've sewn together is row 1. This is row 2. So I have 6 across, and then I continue down here. This is still part of that second row, but it's just as the blocks continue on. So one thing you're going to notice is that in row 1, the white pieces are to the the white pieces are to the right, or they're to the bottom. And then when you get to row 2, the white pieces are at the top and they're to the left. So every other row, the blocks are rotated 180 degrees. So that's important to notice as well. So then what I do is I just take and flip these over, and I do it all the way across. And then you'll notice on this piece that when I flipped it over that this solid piece is on the top and it's pieced on this side. So what I do is I flip it over, and I'm actually going to sew on this side because it'll be easier to make sure that those seams stay down. But I just keep flipping these over. And then I'm going to stack them and sew all of those and then put the second row together. So when you get the first and second row sewn together, you're going to press the first row to the right, and then the second row, so the first row is up here, the second row is down here, you're going to press the first row to the right, the second row to the left. And what that will do is allow your seams to nest together. And then when you have those 2 rows sewn and pressed appropriately, you're going to sew 2 rows together. And then once you've got those 2 rows together, you'll sew the next 2 rows together. And then you'll take and sew them to the first 2 rows and make a set of 4 rows. And then when you have a set of 4 rows, you'll take the 2 4s together and make a set of 8 rows. And then you'll take the 2 8s and make 16, which will complete the center of the quilt. Then the next thing you're going to do is add your inner white border and your outer charcoal border. And when you add your borders, make sure you take 3 measurements. So if you're measuring the sides, measure along one end of the quilt, that side, and then measure along the other end of the quilt, that side, and then take a measurement in the center as well. And that will give you, when you average those 3 measurements, it will give you the correct measurement to make your border. And then do the same thing with the top, like measure the top and include the 2 side pieces that have been added and take that measurement, then measure the bottom and take that measurement, and then measure again in the center. And then repeat and do the same thing with your outer border. So next up, I'll show you what the quilt looks like when it's all done. We did it! It's done! I hope you like it, and I hope you enjoyed watching the Making the Woven Wonders quilt. If you did like it, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and also hit that bell so that you'll be notified when new videos come out. I've enjoyed making this with you, and I hope you've enjoyed it too. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.